Damn. Yeah. 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 Hey everybody, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you?
Hey, I feel the same way, my brother. Been a long week.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? Man, I'm feeling it today though, man. That is exactly how I feel. I feel like when it wind up, it's got the spring in the back of it, and then it just dies on you very, very slowly. Very, very slowly, very slowly. Hello to everybody that's already jumping in the comments. We appreciate you being here, and welcome to this week's edition of This Week in Georgia. Bulldogs! Georgia! Bulldogs! Football. We appreciate y'all joining. I almost made myself hoarse. Did you hear that? Sound like Jet Li throat kicked me right there after I said, Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? But we appreciate you being here. Who am I? I'm glad you asked. I am one half of this team right here, coming to you all the way from Oklahoma City in Zagnip Central. I am Mr. Fingers, and my partner in crime who ain't got no time to drop a dime. You understand what I'm saying? And he only likes his Sprite with the lemon, not the lime. He is the brother from another, the sexy Mother Hubbard, the ace of base in the place, in your face. I am very happy to be here. Do you have any garbage that requires disposal? Because I have a whole trash can that requires disposal. He is Colin P from the DMV on the INTERNET with me, discussing UGA football for they, thou, and thee. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Like you said, dude. I've had a pretty tiresome week too, but hey, it's getting closer and closer to this bowl season. These bowls are starting to fire up tomorrow, so I'll be ready to rock and roll this weekend. Got my boy this weekend, so we can watch football and kind of hunker down a little bit because it's getting cold out here on the East Coast, brother. I don't know how you guys are doing out there, but it is raining today and cold, and I think it's just going to get colder. So
it was a balmy 51 degrees today here in Oklahoma City, and there were folks walking around wearing their not East Coast. What are those jackets? Not Sun Coast. That was the video thing. They was wearing the puffy jackets. People was walking around
with down jackets.
Yeah, people were walking around wearing the puffy jackets. I just put on my Bill Cosby sweater, and
I said Mr. Rogers, a little more like Mr. Rogers sweater.
Hi neighbor, how are you?
You'll throw his shoes.
Yeah. Yes, I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. You always wanted to live in a neighborhood. Oh my God, that stinks. Let me put that back on my foot. Yeah, anyway. How's your weekend, bro? Was it all right? How did you make it through your first weekend since September with no University of Georgia football?
Well, let's see. What did I do this weekend? I can't even remember what I did. Well, I worked on Saturday. That took care of a little bit of that. But I didn't really do much of nothing, man. I just had kind of really, honest with you, I didn't know what to do with myself without football. You know what I mean? It's just one of them kind of things on the weekend. You're just like, well, what do I do? And it was actually, it was still cold. So, I didn't really have any kind of, desire to go outside and freeze. It just, but yeah, dude, it was something definitely unorthodox for sure. How about yourself? Did you do anything?
I watched the Army Navy game, man. I watch the Army Navy game every year, and it was very boring the first half, and then it became very interesting in the second half, and in the end, the Black Knights of Army triumphed over the midshipmen of Navy for the 5th time in 6 years. Unfortunately, it meant it's the end of the Coach Ken era because I really liked Coach Ken. I thought he was pretty cool, even though he used to
Yeah,
whip us up. He used to whip us up every year. Uh,
right.
I did, so thank you, Coach Ken, for making the rivalry interesting. I'm sure that the alumni, the Booster Club, and the fans of the Navy football program appreciate everything that you did for their program. Um, yeah, but I mean, it was bad. I mean, it barely. I think I didn't even check the stats, but I would venture to say just from what I watched, and if I averaged it all up, I think both
Yeah.
teams probably may have thrown about 35 passes the entire game. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So let's get into these comments here real quick before we get into the show. We got our guy Chris
Hey,
in the building. Thank you for joining, sir. And our homie Drew. Go dogs. Appreciate you. Go dogs. Back at you. Hey, and this is
man.
just for whoever that was that asked that question in the discussion group earlier. They asked the question, how do grown people how do grown men walk around barking at people like dogs? Chris came
Bro,
back
did
at
I
me.
remember? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now go ahead. You go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
No, I was gonna say. Remember, I don't know if I told you that, but my cousin, he's down south, boy. He went to Atlanta, and he went to I think it was the Braves when the Braves were still playing. I think, and well, maybe it was a Braves game, I think. And then the Dogs were playing too, and there was a Comic-Con around that area. He said, "Man," he said, he said, "Not every day you see a corner guy dressed up like some kind of fantasy like comic book guy, and then you see another guy on a couple of guys barking at each other on the corner." He said it was a sight to be seen. He said grown men barking, and you see grown men and grown people dressed up in in costumes going to a Comic
Right,
Con. But hey,
right,
it's what it is, man.
right. And now we have an entire club at as much fun as people made of people that dress up like to go to the extreme raves and stuff like that. Now,
Yeah,
our most prominent fan group looks like the entire cast of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Shouts out to the Spike Squad. I know I'm going to see y'all representing loud and proud in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta in a couple of
oh yeah,
weeks. I want to address this
yeah.
comment right here. That's why I left it up. Said, look like a gator trying to throw a shoe. Sir, I'm going to need you to have several seats. It looked like a dog trying to pretend. It looked like a dog making fun of a gator trying to throw a shoe. We got to get it right. We got to get it right.
Reminds me of Doctor. He was like, "Who throws a shoe?" Honestly.
Right. And then last but not least here, Army Navy, yay for their service. Army football, snore. And that was pretty for real though, it was definitely like that. But let's go ahead and get right on into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do thank you for joining us here today for this week in UGA football. We are proudly sponsored by Squid Rips Cards. Our guy Sid Swinton can get you all the cards you need. He'll sell them to you in packs, he'll sell them to you in breaks, whatever way you want them, he can get them for you. So holla at him today. We'll give him a little bit of love later on. Let's go ahead and get right on into it, man. Postseason awards were this past week, and our boys cleaned up as is typical fashion when the team is dominant that year. They tend to wear their lion's share of the awards.
Yeah,
Notably, of course, Coach Kirby, the SEC Coach of the Year. These are the SEC awards. Kirby Smart, SEC Coach of the Year. Jack Podlesny, Special Teams Player of the Year. We had 3 offensive linemen: center Cedric Van Prine, right tackle Warren McClendon, who was got a little banged up in the championship game, but he will be back. Banged up in the conference championship, but he'll be back against Ohio State. And left tackle Broderick Jones were all named all SEC players. Of course, the mailman won the Bullsworth Trophy for the best SEC player that started out their career as a walk-on.
yeah,
That is a story. That's just a story. The more I hear the story, the more it just kind of tugs at you. Maybe not like the Notebook, like how the ladies watch the Notebook and get teary-eyed, but
yeah.
definitely tugs at your heartstrings. I'm proud of him. I'm happy for all the accolades that he's getting because you don't see a lot of walk-on guys get those kind of accolades ever, if they even make the squad.
Right.
The offensive line is up for the Joe Moore Award. They are finalists for the Joe Moore Award up against the Michigan, another CFP contender, the Michigan Wolverines, with the number 6th ranked offense in the country. What does that say to you, though, man? like people said, well, Georgia's not doing enough on offense and defense is carrying them again. They would have ranked number six in the nation this year in offense, total offense.
Yeah, I mean that's not surprising to me. I mean, like it's we've got if you look, I mean, I talk about it all the time on paper. I mean, like if you look on paper, man, we are. I mean, it's just incredible, and to have those kinds of that kind of talent on paper and actually producing and actually excel. Obviously we have our ups and downs, but I mean, it's just it's next man up mentality, not necessarily being like somebody being injured, but if somebody's not having their best game, somebody else is stepping up. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
just one of those things where it's rare to see, but it's amazing to see when it comes around. So I mean that's kind of what I attribute our offense successes to is because if say if McIntosh is not running his best, then you got Milton that just shows up and he's just bowling people over. Then you got Edwards not doing his best, and one of those other two will do it. And then it's awesome to see. I mean, it's not surprising to me. I mean, sixth best offense. I mean, and everybody was talking about our defense. Nobody even was looking at our offense. To be honest with you,
Yeah, nobody really paid the offense that much mind. They weren't getting that kind of love.
Exactly.
And keeping in the column of postseason awards, of course, our guy Brock Bowers, tight end extraordinaire, walked away with the Mackey Award for the best tight end in the nation, and well deserved. I mean, he's shown us the kid's an absolute stud. He's shown us what he can do. He's built like a blocker. He's not as big as an offensive lineman, but he can block like an offensive lineman. But he can catch passes like a receiver, and he's got speed that is very that you wouldn't think a guy his build would have. He's fast too. You don't think he's fast? Let's go back about 4 or 5 weeks and catch that breakaway jet sweep that he did. I forgot who it was against. I think it was against. I want to say it was against Missouri, maybe, or Vanderbilt, one of the two. Ridiculous. Just 75 yards streaking down the field by himself. But
leaving people, leaving people.
Yeah, not just running, but leaving people. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see a lot of tight ends that do that.
Right.
So, but there was some blowback. There was a particular group of fans that were a little upset that their guy did not win the Mackey Award. And for once, it wasn't Alabama. It was actually the Irish of Notre Dame, and they're really, really upset. They think that he was not. They think that not to knock on Brock Bauer, but they think their guy was the best tight end in the nation, and that was Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. And he's got stats. He's got stats. He's actually his stats kind of outpace Brock Bowers. But the fans weren't too happy with it. I just read you this one in particular. A tweet from Brady Quinn. It says, Mackey Award Committee has some explaining to do. What metrics or film are they watching? Mayer had a better year receiving and is not even close as a blocker. So, according to PFF, Mayer was the number one tight end in the country. They said that Bowers was seventh. It feels like an absolute snub. You know what? Numbers do not lie. Stats don't lie. But I know what I see on the field. Now, I'll be honest. I haven't watched any Notre Dame games this year because we didn't play them this year. And that's not a knock on them. I'm not being a snob, y'all. It's just that this show is called This Week in UGA Football. So I watched the UGA game. I kind of keep the other games on, watch the highlights, catch a few things, rewind it a few times, boom, 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 get our stuff together for our show. So I didn't really get a lot of Notre Dame action in watching this year. But I know what I see in Brock Bowers. And it's nice to see him getting some sort of recognition for his achievements. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, didn't Brock Bowers actually get snubbed? Was it this year, earlier this year, or was it last year? I think he got snubbed last year when he actually had better stat. I think was it last year? It was I think it might have been the award he won this year. He got snubbed for last year. I can't remember, but it was kind of the same scenario. But in my opinion, you said stats don't lie, but I mean, honestly, you're looking at Notre Dame. Well, that goes along with the Heisman. I said, what are you looking for? You're looking at just stats alone for that award? I mean, what goes into play with that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say. But I mean, props to the kid from Notre Dame. But I mean, I feel Brock is more than deserving of this award because I mean we're on track to play for another national championship. He's on a team that's on track to play for another national championship, and he's been a very prominent piece of the offense. I mean, that's my
Very,
opinion. But I mean, props
very
to the other
true.
guy.
Very, very, very true. Comment here from our guy Drew Miller, fellow dog fan. Bowers, well deserved. I hope he continues to grow and improve with no early NFL journey.
Couldn't agree more.
Then hear from our guy Chris, and we apologize. There we go. We'll just move that a little bit. I didn't know you could move that. There we go. The problem I have with postseason awards is SEC coaches, all SEC. 4 guys from Bama on defense and only 2 from UGA. The number 2 tackle in the SEC, not even on the second team. Lots of issues with the SEC coaches, all SEC. You know what? I agree with that too. But when you have a group of guys that are all in the same group, you tend to think with a hive mind. And no matter how hard you try, coaches preach up and down to shut the noise out. We don't hear the noise. We don't hear them yakking. We don't read the articles. It's impossible to not hear it. It's impossible to not hear the good, and it's impossible to not hear the bad. So, I think they start to kind of think hive mind, like, yeah, Brock Bowers good. Yeah, Brock Bowers really good. What about the kid from Notre Dame? Yeah, Brock Bowers good. Brock Bowers really good. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But congratulations to all of our players that managed to take home some sort of postseason award. We applaud you. And all the Bulldog faithful rally around these men who wear the red and black with 2 simple words that exemplify the hearts and minds of the entire Bulldog Nation. Go Dogs.
Go
Thank
dog.
you so much for everything that you do for the program. So that brings us to, of course, the ultimate of ultimate awards, the Heisman Trophy. Going in before the conference championship weekend, we kind of figured that Caleb was the front runner. Everybody kind of figured, with CJ Stroud running a close second. Not even close. It was essentially a runaway. He won most of the first place votes. And God only knows how much of the popular vote. I think he got like 50 some odd percent of the popular vote. A lot of that popular vote went to Stetson. But Caleb Williams wins the Heisman Trophy. But much congratulations to Stetson Bennett just on even being considered.
Yeah.
I know. That's what losers say. Blah 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 blah. Yakety yak yak yak. But I mean, that's the highest award in football, in college football right now. Period. Other than the championship trophy and the championship ring, it's second only to the championship. And for him to be considered after what we talk about after what he's been through in his journey. You guys know. I don't have to talk about that anymore. I think that's impressive because you talk to Caleb, you listen to Caleb Williams' speech. He talked about how he trained and did his diet and kept his journals. And he picked, if his horoscope said pick 5 flowers a day, he picked 5 flowers a day. Like all of the things that he did to try to get to where he wanted to be. And Stetson just had one thing in mind as a kid. I want to be a Georgia Bulldog. And now he is a national championship winning starting quarterback who's on the cusp of potentially winning a second one. So mad kudos to him. He did come in fourth. He barely scratched over 30. I think he got like 34 votes, first place votes.
Yeah, it did surprise. It surprised me that he. Well, I mean, I guess it did, but it didn't surprise me that he was fourth in overall voting. But I mean, one thing that Caleb said, it made me laugh, and I mean, and everybody else laughed.
Oh yeah.
He said that I may be up here, but the rest of you guys are playing for a national championship. So I thought that was a good joke for humility of the guy. Good of the guy. He did win. I mean, and it is unfortunate that all 4 of those guys couldn't have gotten that trophy because they're well deserving, all 4 of them.
Oh yeah.
And but I mean, yeah, it is a testament to Stetson to even be. He's finally getting, and it stinks. And I mean, it stinks that it's taking this long for him to get his just due. You know what I mean? And being recognized as who he is. But
100%. 100%. You know, the kid's got he's got moxie. Will he be a starting quarterback in the league? I think he can be. Will he have a long career in the league as a quarterback? Eh, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But then, a lot of people doubted Tua, and Tua's lighting the world on fire right now. So, um, you know, that being what that is, the irony that I would use an Alabama quarterback as a reference point for a Georgia quarterback after the 2018 CFP national championship game.
Yeah.
One more here from the crowd. The Heisman is dwindling in glory, and I don't agree with there always being quarterbacks only.
That's true.
I'm gonna come to you first with that, Colin. What do you think about that, man?
No, that's absolutely that's absolutely true. I mean, when's the last time we've seen a tight end? I mean, Brock Bowers has even come into conversation, or even the guy from Notre Dame for example. It's always been. I mean, I don't even know. I have to go back and look, but I mean, when's the last time it was actually more? It wasn't anybody between besides a quarterback and a running back. But there are so many other players that kind of embody or actually exhibit or exude the what Heisman stands for. I do think it's becoming more and more, that it's a popularity contest and stuff. And, I've always said that, I mean, me personally, I would like to have like a checklist and that kind of stuff, or something that needed to be, that would outline what needed to happen in order for a player to win the Heisman. But I mean, that's, I understand where it came from. I understand why it was developed and how it was developed. So, I mean, how that would change. I don't see it changing anytime soon. I wish it would, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a, clear, what the award's about,
Yeah. Well, again, hive mind. Even if you give them a set of criteria, I think you're still going to see a lot of quarterbacks winning the award. Period.
I mean, is it only like offense? I mean, is there a like a criteria? You know what I'm saying? Is it only offensive players that are?
No, actually, I did not know this. For the longest time, I just thought that they were voting for the best player in the country. But our guy Randy posted what the criteria are. It talks about the player that most exemplifies the spirit spirit of competition, and it talks about integrity. I mean, there's a lot of things there's a lot of it says nowhere in there anything about the best player on the best team. And that's where our guy Chris right here nails it on the head. It's turned into a popularity contest. It's the best players on the best teams, and that's exactly what happened. It turned out to be a quarterback from from 4 of the 5 teams that were in contention for a potential playoff spot, with exception to homeboy at Michigan. But yeah, you had Duggan, you had Caleb, you had C.J. Stroud. You had Stetson Bennett. So, yeah, I agree with you there, Chris. I'm 100% in agreement with you there.
And if you want to talk about all that kind of stuff, sorry, Anthony, but if you want to talk about all that, I'm going to sound like a homer here, but I mean, Stetson had the full body of work in my mind. I mean, if you look at it, all that stuff the Heisman was supposed to be, then, he had it, Not no disrespect to the other 3. But I mean, if you want to put in the story and where he came from, was walk on that kind of stuff, integrity, that kind of stuff. I mean, how can you not say the kid that didn't have it?
Dedication to craft, that kind of thing. And then one last comment on this before we go to a break. It says correct. They need to honor the criteria to win and be diverse with the positions, plus not just pick when they are in the top. But this will change with the expanded playoffs, which I do believe. And it says Corum wasn't even the best back in the Big Ten, but that title belongs to either Chase Brown or Mo Ibrahim. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our Heisman recap. You guys don't go far. We're going to show you a little something from our bud, Sid Swinton, as soon as I can figure out where it went, because every time I add new videos, the other one. That right there, our guy Sid Swinton, ladies and gentlemen. You can see him and his lovely wife Ashley. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use her full government issue. He and his lovely wife Ash that are on live every Sunday for the live with the Swintons. Every Sunday night they come on at halftime during Sunday night football, and yeah, it's better. It's better than the Manning cast. Just I'm telling you, it's better than the Manning cast, and they
Yeah.
don't have to worry about censoring themselves either, which Ash usually doesn't. Anyway, we keep this thing moving along to our next topic. Those of you just joining us right now, welcome to This Weekend UGA Football. Mr. Fingers here, Colin P from the DMV right over there. We appreciate you joining. Shouts out to everybody all across the intro net, the ethosphere that is watching this and is under the sound of our voice right now. We do appreciate you. So we're going to get into the part that really matters. This is the part that you came for. This is what you came for. I know what you came for. This is what you came for. You didn't come over to watch no movies. This is what you came for. You ain't come over to eat no pizza. This is what you came for. I don't want no back massage. This is what you came for. I'm going to stop before I get banned. You came to hear us talk about the 2022 college football.
Silly.
Oh my God. I'm going to sleep so well tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back. The 2022 college football playoffs. You already know what it is. The Wolverines of Michigan will be taking on the Horned Frogs of Texas Christian University. And in the other corner, dressed in the red and black with the red jerseys, with the white trunks, with the silver trim. Actually, that would describe both teams. Georgia versus Ohio State in the 2022 Peach Bowl. Man, the tickets are going fast. If you don't have tickets right now, you might as well go ahead and be prepared to sell a kidney to get to the game. They went almost as fast as national championship tickets went when Georgia made it to the national championship. As a matter of fact, it has been reported that Ohio State has sold all of their ticket allotment, and now their fans are desperately clamoring to get their hands on any general admission tickets just so they can get to the game. How you feeling about this one, brother?
Oh man, it's gonna be one of the biggest games. I mean, pretty much. I don't know. I read somewhere where they had to add 2,000 seats, I believe. I guess standing room or something. Not standing room, but maybe 2,000 seats or something. Make room for 2,000 people. So I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a huge one. It's gonna be a big blowout game. And I don't know. They got what they have already had two of their players actually did declare for the draft, and they're opting out of playing in the game. So there you go. But I mean, dude, I'm hyped. I'm ready to play this game. I'm ready to get it in and get it over with.
Yeah, me too. Really excited about this. I can't believe. I think last year it went by so quickly because we were so busy being shocked. Like, holy crap, we actually go into the playoffs.
Right.
We're going to college football playoffs because
Yeah.
we had a couple of years where we just missed it. It's like, okay, we're getting ready to go back to before.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, didn't I call you? Did I call you when we won last year? I don't remember.
Oh, you did. You did. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, is this real? Is this real?
Right.
Yeah. So
I
I
like
mean,
that.
I don't know. This time, I have to catch myself because I'm trying not to look past this game like it's a national. It's not a national championship game. You know what I mean? It's just a stepping stone to get to the national championship game. So I mean, I'm trying to, I'm ready for the game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not going to look past it. And we can't afford to do that by any stretch.
Yeah, well, one thing that Georgia cannot, I think you just said that, but Georgia fans, please, by all means, temper your expectations. Don't get too cocky, okay? Because, pride goes for the fall. A lot of people are assuming that Georgia's just going to walk in and smack Ohio State on the head and walk off and be like, I believe you have my tabler, and just take it and come and walk off. And it might not be like that. Remember, any given Saturday, it can happen. I don't believe Auburn was even supposed to be remotely close in that that now historic Iron Bowl, the kick six game. I don't think they were supposed to be anywhere close. All Alabama was supposed to run them out of the stadium, and
Yeah.
then Auburn kept it close, and then kick six happened. Kick six
Yep.
happened, and
Yep.
that was pretty much it, man.
That's when it's
So
mostly dangerous when somebody's touted to not even it's supposed to be good enough where it's not even supposed to be a game, and that's when it usually rears its ugly head, man. That's when it happens. It's like, oh, they're not gonna get close, and there you go. Look at there, they're gonna be close with a chance to win.
yeah,
So, but I think Kirby's got our boys locked in. I don't think they're even thinking about that kind of stuff. Maybe the fans may be thinking about it, but I don't think our boys are worried about that. I think they're going. I mean, this team is like the most fierce that I've seen. Them boys are hitting, and then
oh yeah,
they're driving hungers out. It's just crazy out the box.
yeah. So the missing in action, because I've had that up there for a while. We kind of went on a tangent, but Ohio State running back Travion Henderson says that he's not going to play. It looks like he's going to declare for the draft, and then we already know about Jackson Smith and Jigba. He actually had an injury. For those people saying he was scared, he actually did have an injury, and they said that they weren't going to have him practice at all throughout the course of the playoffs. So, that's basically. It sounds more to me like that decision was made for him than that he made the decision on his own. But those are two of their top players that are going to be out. Also, Taraja Mitchell, who doesn't look like got any playing time or any major playing. Oh no, here we go. He got a little bit of playing time this past year, but looks like he also got hurt during the middle of the season because he has no stats past game 5. Last time he played was when they played Indiana back in October before Halloween. So he's not going to be playing also. So Michigan not Michigan. Gosh, I got Michigan on the brain. Ohio State with with a couple of key players out. I think, to the best of my knowledge, and Colin, please correct me if I'm wrong. To the best of my knowledge, I think we're almost back at full strength except for Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith is out, and then we got Marvin Jones Jr. I mean, he's probable. A lot of these guys are probable / questionable. They're going to keep them probably at that designation probably until the game starts. Until the game gets here. But McConkey is still. I think Kirby. Last update I heard from Kirby, I don't think he's been practicing. I think if he has, it's been very, very limited. He is questionable still. So there's a chance he would play. But like I said, they're probably keeping him. I wouldn't put it past him to keep him on that designation until the game starts. But AD Mitchell,
I was going to say, if you believe Kirby Smart, what Kirby Smart is telling you about Lad McConkey, this is what I want you to do. I want you to light a cigarette if you're a smoker. If you're not a smoker, I want you to light some incense, and then I want you to walk to the nearest room and hold it in front of your bathroom mirror, because that's what's going on right now. College football coaches have started acting like whether or not people are playing is some kind of closely guarded government secret. We all know good and well if Lad McConkey is ready to go, then Kirby's going to run him out on the field, but he's got to play cloak and dagger. Well, he might not. I think I saw a Snapchat of him having dinner at the Eiffel Tower. He's not going to make curfew time enough to get back here and play. Yeah. Just go ahead and tell us, he's going to play. It's fine. Yeah. You'll be okay.
Exactly. But that comment there, AD Mitchell, absolutely, he's probable. So he'll definitely be a key factor. And boom, there you go.
I'm going to address that. I'm going to let you say what you got to say about it, but I'm going to let you address. I'm going to address that.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, this is what I'm going to say. Last year, something very interesting happened. There were 2 teams in the SEC that climbed and clawed and fought and scratched their way to the top of their respective divisions at the end of the season. And the week following the end of the regular season, they met in a pretty significant football game, if I remember correctly. And as oddly enough, as things played out, the team that was most heavily favored wound up being beaten pretty badly. I mean, to the point where people were like, if we make the CFP, We won't even win the national championship. We'll get bounced in the first round. That's what people were saying. Oh my God, it's good. Same people that were yelling, "Go Dogs, sick 'em, woo, woo, woo." And who's that coming down the track and all that stuff? All of a sudden, we're gloom and doom. My team sucks, and the band sucks, and Sanford Stadium sucks, and I want to fire Kirby Smart, and I'm gonna sneak up behind Uga and kick him in his little bulldog butt, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then something remarkable happened. The same two teams wound up somehow by winning their respective games, matching up again. And the least heavily favored team wound up winning. That team that was the most heavily favored team the last time. I'm going to say this. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination. However, what I am going to say is that I think that Kirby has developed this. I want to call it playing possum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Playing possum. He's got these guys so well conditioned. They can play a full game of football at like 3/4 speed. Seriously. If you don't believe me, here's the tell to back up what I'm saying. LSU racked up 500 yards of total offense in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
If you rack up 500 yards of offense, you should be winning your game, or that game should be very close where you beat each other until there's nothing left on the field.
Right.
When you rack up 500 yards of offense, there should not be an L in your column. There should not be an L in the L column at all, unless they want to make it French, and then they could call it "les win." You know what I mean? That's the only way there should be an L in either column with 500 yards of total offense. LSU racked up 500 yards of offense and still lost by 3 touchdowns.
I think majority of the yards were in the fourth quarter. I think around that time.
Yes, and they got what they got. Did they get one? Did they get 1 or 2 touchdowns?
I don't know. I actually played it last night. I actually watched a little bit more of it. But yeah, go ahead. Continue. Preach.
No, I'm just saying, Kirby. I think Kirby has become the coach that has adapted with the times, because you get a lot of players that they're not really hurt, but they can't justify sitting on the bench for 2 or 3 weeks. So, I pulled my hamstring, coach. My leg. And then they rest for a couple of insignificant games, and then when it comes time for them to play again, all of a sudden they've made this miraculous recovery after Kirby said, well, it's not looking good for him getting on the field for the rest of 2022. And all of a sudden they're out there playing for the CFP. I'm not throwing Kirby under the bus. I'm not hating Kirby. I'm congratulating. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's my theory.
Well, that's an interesting take, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, I'm sure there's kind of some kind of smoke and mirrors in there, but I can kind of see that. But I mean, do you really think that's what's going on with Ringo though? I mean, like our secondary. I mean, I would be happy if that is.
Well, did you not? Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Were you not shaking your head the entire conference championship game last year, going, where in the world is our defense?
Oh well, yeah, absolutely. And we were both shaking our heads with where's Big O, and where were they? I guess to your point, now I can agree with you. To your point, I guess there's special times and special places where he will implement what the game plan. You know what I mean? Is that where you're going at, or where you kind of headed to a little bit?
Like I said, 3/4 speed.
Yeah,
it's like this. Here's a perfect example. That scene in the X-Men where Quicksilver has helped break Magneto out, and then they roll up in the kitchen, and all the guards are there, and Quicksilver takes off and does all this stuff in the room while everybody else is moving slow.
Yeah.
I think Kirby's got those guys so trained up so well that they can go out there and give it Missouri gave Georgia everything they could for 3.5 quarters, and we still won by 10 points.
Yeah, that's very true. But I mean,
it's just a theory, okay? It is just a theory. because we can't afford it. Because at this point, there's only 2 games left:
Yeah.
playoffs, championship. So they can't go out there playing possum now. But have you not noticed that over the years, as Kirby has been coach, he has managed to find a way to reduce the number of serious injuries to his players?
That's very
Like
true. Yeah,
we're not getting as many players hurt. You might have a guy tweak here or a guy tweak there. Like Nolan Smith, unfortunately, hurt himself 2 games out from the end of the season, and he's
yeah.
out for the season. But we have not had a whole rackle-tang of serious injuries. It's been a little ding here and a little ding there. That's a testament to that coach. Well, hell, you know what? His strength and conditioning coach got to be strong to keep Kirby from running on the field. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
Hashtag get back, coach. Look that clip up. Anyway,
Got me a Marlin.
Got me a Marlin.
But yeah, no, I mean, I got what you're saying. I mean, but yeah, but I don't know though. I mean, like Ringo got burnt quite a few times last couple of games, and then and that could be like that could go to your point. I don't know, and luckily it didn't amount to nothing. It didn't amount to any kind of any kind of a pick off or a pick six or anything like that, not an interception or anything like that. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that is a good. I mean, that's a good theory. I mean, I can kind of get on board with that. But and it does seem to play a part, like you said, with less injuries or the amount of less injuries. But I think a lot of injury things that go along with the less injuries. I mean, we have more. It seems like we have more of a supporting cast. You know what I'm saying? Look how many running back. We've always been running back but everybody's been healthy. Like, I mean, like, all the running backs have been healthy, but, even if they were hurt, we'd have somebody in the backfield. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we have 2 tight ends, Big O. I don't know. I think he might have been hurt a little bit before the beginning of the season or just hadn't been involved. But, we have Brock Bowers, so maybe we have a lot of people at these positions that can step up that maybe we haven't noticed if anybody's tweaked something here and there or whatever. But and like Blaylock has been a lot more in the picture lately. Like, I don't know if he's just been on the bench because of his playing time. He's not good enough to be on the field or what. But, I mean, or he's been getting his shot for practice. I don't know. But I still think our secondary needs to step up, like the gentleman said, or the whoever posted that said that we do need the secondary needs to step up because we're going to get tested big time between C.J. Stroud and Robert Harrison Jr. And I believe they got another guy that's not as prolific as Marvin Harrison. But, yeah, we definitely need to step up. If anything in the world is going on, we better fix it in a hurry. Now, if it's what you were saying, I'm on board.
But step up to these streets. Oh, man.
People step up to get knocked down.
Yep. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to give you our game predictions. We're going to take a brief video break. As we mentioned, we are part of a family of football podcasts called the Let's Talk Football family of podcasts. As a matter of fact, there was a show on earlier, which we both missed because we were doing show prep, but you'll see all of this stuff. You want to know where you can find it? I'll be more than happy to show you. Just keep staring at your screen and maybe you'll figure it out. We'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Digimon says thank you for tuning into This Week in University of Georgia football. Mr. Fingers here, Colin P there. We got a couple more things to do, and then we're going to get out of your hair. That one I did not plan, but it worked out very well. So, Colin, What is your? Well, go ahead and give me your game prediction for the Peach Bowl, sir.
Peach Bowl, me? Peach Bowl. Of course, we're gonna win it, right? Um,
I'm asking you to give me your prediction.
my prediction, I think we're gonna win. Let's see, 42-25. How about that one? 42-25. How about that score?
42-25.
Yeah,
You think we're gonna shut them down that bad, huh?
I do.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you roll with that. I don't know. I mean, their offense is probably going to be one of the most no knock. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to pick on nobody we already played. I think this is going to be one of the most prolific offenses that we've faced in the last 2 seasons. Not to knock any of the others off the table and not to say this is going to be the most prolific, but I mean, you're talking about a guy who's a 2-time Heisman runner-up.
Yeah.
Who can sling the ball, and even though he doesn't have his full complement of receivers, can still sling the ball. So we shall see, and then it depends on how much the defensive front four get in the backfield. That's going to be a factor. Also.
What's your score?
What's your score? You like yeah. Finger, stop all the talking. Give me your score.
We know we already talked about all that, man. We know what we got. We know what we don't.
Skip Bayless. If you don't let me look. Don't make me take put my glasses on and take them back off on you, Skip. We'll talk about that on another show. I still think Georgia gets into the 40s, but I think that Ohio State at least gets into the low 30s.
Yeah.
So I'm saying more like 47, 48 to 32.
Yeah, I think. I mean, honestly, I could expand on that a little bit more. But I think when it starts, like any big game like that, it's going to be emotion. It's going to be adrenaline. Everybody's going to be running on all cylinders. Everything's going to be, everybody's going to be excited. So there may be some bombs being thrown, maybe some deep passes. You don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see what Kirby pulls out the first couple series. If he has any trick plays in mind, which that's. He's not prone to doing that kind of stuff, but he can pull something out every now and then. But
yeah,
I think we just need to, obviously get ahead and stay ahead. I mean, that's the main thing we need to do, and then keep running the ball. And I think we're going to be able to gash that defense, and be able to, give it to Brock Bowers and Big O. And man, if we use them like we used them against LSU, I don't find it. I mean, I see no problem with us taking them down pretty handily. But
it's a wrap like the kind you get at Chipotle. If he's
it is Christmas. It is Christmas. There'll be a lot of rapping going on for sure. With the W, sir. Not the W, with the R. And you'll take care of rapping. You take care of the rapping.
Play, sir. You get the horn for that one right there, Colin. Hey. Y'all. Oh, there it is. There. Now I'm back. Yay.
On the base screen, though. It's all right.
Yeah. So that's where we got it, ladies and gentlemen. I think that Georgia is going to win this game, and I think they're going to be in a scrap, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to eventually pull away, though. I mean, if it is ever close, then I think we will pull away. But then again, I don't want to sound like a homer. I don't want to sound like that I think it's in the bag. That's just I think what's going to happen. So, but we shall see.
Yes, we definitely shall. Well. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Colin and I both have the dogs winning. Shocker. But we're going to give you one last brief little video, and then we're going to get into our 2-minute warning. So hang tight. Is that the one? Oh, that's not the one. It's that time of year again. Do you have your holiday stocking stuffers? going down tonight?
What's going down tonight?
Hey, Santa Claus.
Hey, Santa Claus.
Make it feel alright. Hey, Santa Claus.
Hey, Santa Claus.
What's going down tonight?
What's going down tonight?
Hey, Santa Claus.
Hey, Santa Claus.
You better leave me a gift tonight.
Word.
Yes,
awesome.
ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. You might know the guy that was singing that jingle. He might be one of the two of us. Anyway, yeah, not too late to get your stuff. You just won't get it by Christmas, but not too late to get your stuff. And by the way, those of you that have been feeding into the comment thread while the show has been live will be entered into a drawing. This will be the last drawing of the month. Which will be taking place tomorrow evening for your chance to win one of our cool little Zagnef beanies, which I happen to conveniently have forgotten to have here with me, but that's all good. That's all good. We'll have the final duck race of the year tomorrow, and that will declare our winner of our last beanie giveaway. And in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and click that, hit that, this little thing right here by Colin, the Lord have mercy, I can't even think of it. The QR code right there, or hit the website in the bottom right hand corner of the video, and that will take you right to the shop where all the goodness is. Right up under all of the holiday stuff is under the limited time only collection. Thank you so much. All right, having said that, final segment of the show, Mr. Fingers, Colin P. This weekend UGA football, and this is the 2-minute warning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a 2-minute warning, the final segment of the show, the segment that can make you laugh, cry, or think, or all three at the same time. We just try and drop a little nugget on you, and then we shut it down and we go home. So, Colin, what you got for us this week, sir?
Well, I'm ready for all these bowl games to start. I'm ready to watch all these teams that have made it to the end of the season. We got these bowl games, and to be honest with you, I want to see that. I want to know how Tony the Tiger got his own bowl. Because I mean, if Tony the Tiger could get his own bowl, maybe I could get the Colin P Bowl or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have enough money, but I want to see the all these teams and stuff.
Dude, Jimmy Kimmel has a bowl game, okay?
Well, he's on TV, bro. You know what I mean?
That don't make no difference.
No, Tony Tiger's on a box. Tony Tiger's on a box.
It's been plenty of people been on TV and they ain't got no bowl game.
That's very true. Very true. But they need to come out with some better name of the bowl games or name of the bowls. But anyway, I digress. But no, I mean, I'm ready to watch all these games, and it's going to be a sad thing when it's all over with. But hey, you know what? Hopefully, we'll be the ones playing for the national championship at that very last one. And to be honest with you, I hope it is Michigan again, because I wouldn't mind seeing a part two. And we get to give a little Josh with our Let's Talk family members, you know?
Yeah, it would be like Ali Spinks number 2. But that thing was something else, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. And it'll be a better one on the bigger stage. Like I told him, you know, a better team, better Michigan team, and a larger stage. So can't ask for anything more.
Yes, indeed. Well, my 2-minute warning, ladies and gentlemen, in just over a week, we will be celebrating the biggest holiday that we celebrate all year long. If you don't believe me, there are people, I won't say who, but one of those people may have put this ring on my finger, that have been watching movies dedicated to the subject since right after Halloween, have been waiting for the Mariah Carey, have been waiting to put the decorations up, have been shopping since September, and it is finally upon us. And excuse me. Wow. Yeah. And this is the time when families get together and have and reconnect and have a great time. This is the time when you probably catch up with your friends that you missed at Thanksgiving. But there are also some folks that aren't doing quite my goodness. There are some people that aren't doing quite as well as the rest of us are doing at Christmas. So just keep them in mind. and say a little prayer for them. If you haven't, there are 1,850 different ways that you can donate or make a difference in someone's life who's a little less fortunate this holiday. So check one of those out to see if you can't, just try to do your part to make Christmas merry and bright for someone as well. And that's all I got for my 2-minute warning. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I tell you what, I don't know how people that are that do live TV never seem to sneeze ever. I hope I didn't just curse like every live television show in the country. But yeah. So that's all we got for this week's edition of This Week in UGA Football. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Those of you that commented, those of you that maybe gave it a share or a subscribe, we appreciate each and every one of you. Colin, what are you getting into this week? Don't the ball games start this weekend?
Yeah, they start tomorrow, actually. I can't remember the first game, but I think they start tomorrow. I got to be man this weekend, so we will try, and we were slacking very much bad on the getting the tree up. So we're gonna put the Christmas tree up. Gotta have a Christmas tree up before obviously Christmas. So he'll be here this weekend, and then the folks are coming next. I believe my mom said they were driving up Wednesday, gonna get a hotel and Wednesday night, spend the night there, then continue to drive up here, and they'll be here on Thursday. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. I had to be man this weekend. I believe he was, pretty much on me about camping out. So we're gonna camp out in the living room or the basement, one or the other. We're gonna do a camp out sometime either Saturday or Sunday, probably tomorrow night. But
Okay,
anyway,
that's nice.
I've got
Nice.
a pretty full card when he's around. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and relax, man. I'm working myself. I am literally working myself to death right now. Wait a minute. Let me knock on something to take that back. But I'm working myself like crazy right now. So I'm gonna try and relax this weekend if that is at all possible. So
Oh man, I forgot to tell you. So actually, you know what? You have that traditional. I guess I don't know how many people have some people have the turkey or the Thanksgiving dinner for Christmas or whatever. But yeah, you know what we're having for Christmas? I'll go to my mom's sister's house with my cousin, everybody over in here in Ashburn. But we're having fried chicken and greens. We're gonna have the southern thing for Christmas. I can't wait. That means I've had greens for Thanksgiving. For just this time I went down to Georgia, and I'll have them again. But man, I could eat them 7 days a week.
don't forget you're supposed to eat a little bit on New Year's too.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah. I'll try to give me some more. That's good call. Good call. I'll talk to them. I'll talk to the folks.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get out of your hair. Colin's got to work tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow. Some of you have to work tomorrow. We appreciate those of you that tuned in. We'll have the duck race tomorrow to see who wins the final beanie of 2022. And on behalf of Colin P., my esteemed co-host, and yours truly, Mr. Fingers, we are OUWT out. Thank you for listening, and go dogs.
You guys be safe. Go dogs.
All right, so Pete, we appreciate you tuning in and watching these videos. Me and Colin will be back every Monday, every Thursday, right on this very channel. Like what you see, hit the like button. Want to get the notifications, hit the subscribe button. Want your peoples to know, hit that share button and send it all across the internet. We appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. We'll be back next time. We'll see you then. Go Dogs.